Bourbon Bill, and tonight a very special episode on one of my favorite topics in the world, double oak bourbons. Copper&Cask Double Oak store pick, motherfuckers. Are we excited? Hell yeah, we are. Brought to us by a special anonymous guest. There you go, an anonymous guest. Let's just dive into the facts. First off, look at this color. Look how nice and dark that color is. Okay, store pick from Specs. This is number 2. Specs number 2. There you go. Copper&Cask does some pretty good things. My buddy Dave Vogelsang sent me it's like a Canadian whiskey finishing cognac cask. Pretty unique, pretty good. I don't think I did a full review on that, but it was a one-off, very good. And that was really the only other Copper&Cask I have, although I drank that bottle, it's gone. Thank you, Dave, for that bottle, by the way. But Dave didn't send this one. Another anonymous guest. But anyway, Specs Wine & Spirits, number 2, pick this. Let's just get into the raw details, because we're pretty excited tonight to talk about this. Double Oak Bourbon Whiskey. That's pretty good. Finished in new charred oak, and that's my favorite kind of double oak, right? If you're a double oak fan, you don't want no used cask as your second cask. You want a goddamn charred new barrel. You want the double. You know what I mean? You know, Woodford should fucking cry themselves to sleep at night because this is better than what they put out. You know? Anyway. Aged 8 years. That's a nice age for a double oak. A lot of double oaks are not that old, right? Old Forester 1910, probably not 8 years old, right? Woodford Double Oak, probably not 8 years old. And those are pretty good bottles, right? And you might say, well, Bourbon Bill, those are shelf-available bottles. Sure. How much is Woodford Double Oak these days? Go ahead. $60, $65 hairs more? How much is 1910? $55 hairs, in that range? How much is this Copper&Cask cask strength double oak, you might ask? $52.99, $53 hairs for an 8-year double oak in the second new charred cask is unheard of. What a fucking steal. What a steal. $52.99. Let that see. You should be just, I hope you were sitting down for that news. Proof 55.8. Compute 111.6 proof. It's a nice proof point, it really is. All right, on the back, we get even more info. Distilled in Lawrenceburg, Indiana, batch size, 10 barrels, and there's even a QR code to scan to get some goddamn tasting notes. I've never seen anyone do a pick better than this. Like, what? I've never even been to a Specs, but you know what? I already respect them for the transparency and the cool shit they got going on, but that's cool. So this is MGP. 8-year-old MGP Double Oak. Without further ado, let's just dive into it. You heard me blab enough about the awesome price. Look at the color. Just rich and deep. Rich and deep. On the nose, here we go. I'm excited. Oh, that smells good. Chocolate on here. I get like an orange, chocolate orange. Man, a lot of wood oak here going on. Not like, you know, super old oak, but just like a nice woody oak. Not Home Depot green lumber. More mature ground contact lumber. Remember that. Damn, does that smell good. Confectioner sugar, chocolate, candy chocolate, barrel char. Almost get like a dates raisin note on here. Very dark. God, that smells good. Man, I can smell it all night. Down the hatch. Oh my God. Oh, is that so good? Oh, platinum. A+++ platinum award. And for $53 fucking dollars. God, what a value of the year has been found. And we're a little bit more than halfway through the year. Value of the year. Oh my God. Oh. Dates, raisins, chocolate. A lot of like barrel char influence and like wood influence. God, it's good. God, it's good. Oh, it's good. All right. What do we compare that to? the king of double oak, Peerless Double Oak Bourbon. This happens to be batch 15, which is one of the newer batches. So there you go. New for new. That's what we're comparing. Proof on this is 108.8. Compute 54.4%. Alcohol by volume. So let that sink in. The proofs are pretty close. 111 point something versus 108 point something. Pretty close. You boys and gals know how I love my Peerless Double Oak Bourbon. I think there's pretty much no better double oak available today. I don't have a Baumburger's PFG. I wish I did. I had a sample of it that Cam from Drums and Drams sent me, but I drank it. Shame on me. I really liked it. Go watch my review on it. I wish I had that to compare for you today, but I don't. But I remember during that review saying that I kind of liked it as much as the double oak bourbon. Although although that time I was a store pick, so I might like it a little bit better. So we'll see how it goes. All right, Peerless Double Oak color, really dark, but so is this Copper Sky, like neck and neck. Let's look at the bottles. Oh man, are they dark? So I think we're gonna just call it a draw on the color. Peerless Double Oak Bourbon on the nose. Oh, cinnamon, chocolate. That same kind of like barrel char, you know, woodiness in there we get. The Copper and Cask is a little bit sweeter on the nose. It has a lot less cinnamon. But they're pretty close. I might prefer the Copper and Cask on the nose. On the nose. Peerless Double Oak Bourbon down the hatch. Oh. Oh. Mmm. Wow. Peerless Double Oak Bourbon is so good. Such just barrel char, like wood, good aged wood notes, chocolate here as well. A lot of cinnamon. Certainly not as sweet as the Copper and Cask. Back to the Copper and Cask. Wow. Wow. I think I prefer the Copper and Cask. What? What? The Copper and Cask has a chocolate, but there's like a sweet oakiness about it that's really prevalent. It's missing the cinnamon. If you're a cinnamon fan, you might still prefer the Peerless Double Oak, but what we can't ignore tonight is that they're pretty close, right? I still think the Copper Sky here edges it out. We can't ignore that the price difference. You know, Peerless Double Oak Bourbon is about $85 to $90 in that range, and it's worth every penny. Worth every penny, and I love it. The age on these for their picks at the time, they haven't done double oak picks as far as I know since 2023. Go comment below if you know anything different, but they haven't done any picks of these since 2023. The picks in 2023 are about 6 years old, which means the original stuff is like 4. So I think today, you know, batch 15 is newer. It's this year. I would think, you know, you're in the 5 to 6ish year range for these, right? Which is less than the 8 of Copper and Cask, right? And this is obviously Peerless's own distillate, sweet mash, uncut, unfiltered, you know, all that good stuff. That's a store pick. This is just a shelfer bottle, right? Had this been a store pick, I think it might go the other way. However, the price can't be beat. So A++++ must buy on the specs number 2, Copper and Cask Double Oak. Thank you, sir. You know who you are who sent that in. What a fucking treat. And I don't see how this isn't going to make top 10 bourbons of the year. Don't see how it doesn't. That's how much I like it. Whiskey War Double Double. And you might say, well, Bourbon Bill, this is a double double. That's right. She's a triple oaked, baby. 1 barrel, 2 barrel, 3 barrel. What a true double double should be. Not what Woodford Double Double did, which was just stay in the 2nd barrel longer. That's not a double double. That's just what you should have done for the double oak. Fuck you, Woodford. Anyway, Whiskey War from Ohio. By the way, folks, this is MGP. So we should be very similar to the Copper and Cask. This is 114.4 proof, so just 3 proof points higher, basically. No age statement on here. This is a Mash and Journey Barrel of Flies pick. Doesn't say much about the barrel, so there's not as much info in this, except it was in 3 barrels, right? But doesn't, you know, we don't get anything more than that. Pour it up in the mini here. Color is nice and dark. Is it darker than our copper cask? No, it's actually a bit lighter than the copper cask, which leads me to believe A, these barrels, although 3, might not have been as heavily charred, and it might not be as old. There you go. Price on that bad boy was like, I don't remember, $100 here, somewhere there, significantly more than the copper and cask. On the nose of the Whiskey Bank Double. Oh man, plums, dates, raisins. Real dark, real dark. Oh man. Being MGP though, very similar to the copper and cask. But the copper and cask has like, I don't know, they're very close though, very close. Which again is a problem, right? Double the price. And that's the problem. Okay? Very close though. I would say the Copper Sky has like a slight cherry twist to it that elevates it a little bit, but the noses are neck and neck. Down the hatch on the Whiskey War Double. Oh, is that a fantastic pour. Probably the sweetest of the 3. Caramel, a little bit of chocolate, a little bit. It's much more fruity than the other 2, to be honest. Like candied dates and raisins. And although it is triple oaked, it's got that dark wood profile, but doesn't really get oaky, right? Back to the Copper and Cask Double Oak. Down the hatch. Oh. Similar to the Peerless Double Oak, right here. I think this Copper and Cask does win, but by the slimmest of margins. So that means it's a fantastic value because this is half price, $52.99. Okay, so Specs, fantastic job. Copper and Cask and Specs, thank you for bringing just a fantastic value to the Double Oak market. And if you're a Double Oak fan like I am, you're a smart man, you like Peerless Double Oak. You've had the Whiskey War Double, and you like them bottles, you love them. Pick up a Copper Cask Double Oak 8-year from Specs, at least their batch 2. I don't know if they'll do more, I hope they do. This is fantastic. Again, it's nice that they age dated it, and it's nice that they're so transparent, which isn't, you know, again, Peerless is fairly transparent except for the age. Whiskey War is not that transparent except that it's in 3 barrels. They do specify that. And it is MGP, but this is the most transparent and just, I mean, it's so good. And it's half price. And that's what we love to hear. Thank you again, Anonymous. You know who you are. If you like what you saw tonight, please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you again next time. Have a good evening, everybody.